This is Twit.
Bandwidth for Know-How is brought to you by CashFly.
This episode of Know-How is brought to you by IT Pro TV. IT Pro TV is an easy, entertaining approach to online IT training. For a free 7-day trial and 30% off the lifetime of your account, go to itpro.tv/knowhow and use the code KNOWHOW30. And by the Ring Video Doorbell. With Ring, you can see and talk to anyone at your door from anywhere in the world using your smartphone. It's like caller ID for your house. Go to ring.com/knowhow and get up to $150 off a Ring of Security kit with their limited time offer. Today on Know-How,
we're going back to school, part 1.
Welcome to Know-How. It's the Twitch show where we build, bend, break, and upgrade. I'm Father Robert Ballas.
And I'm Brian Burnett.
And for the next however many minutes it takes, we're going to be showing you some of the things that we've been playing with so you can take them home and play with them on your own. Brian,
Padre,
welcome back to school.
I know. And what more would you want from going back to school than a beautiful monitor to look at all that schoolwork that you would be doing?
The schoolwork needs a super high refresh gaming monitor.
Well, you know, when I'm typing out my papers, I want a paper here. I want my research material here. I might have Netflix up here. You know.
Yeah, of course. Now, I should say that this is running off of YouTube, off of a laptop right now. It's 4K. Right. It is 4K, but it's going to stumble a little bit. That's not the monitor. We thought that we should create a series of episodes. In this case, we're going to do 3 or 4, in which we're going to be showing off some of the gear that we've had running through the Brick House that we think might actually be a good match for students.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're going to school for something that everything that you do now at school is digital, right? Like you're going to be working on papers, and if you're like me, you're going to be doing some video editing, and you might do some light gaming while you're at school too. If you have the time.
If you have the time, of course. Only if you have the time.
And Acer was kind enough to send me this monitor to review, and really, like, I've gotten very accustomed to having dual monitors, you know, because doing editing or having extra setup for things, it helps. It helps to have that much screen real estate.
You know what? Once you have that real estate, it's hard going back.
It's hard to go back unless you're using a 32-inch 4K
monitor.
What is it? It's 4K UHD 3840 by 2160.
4 millisecond response time. It's 60 hertz refresh. It's got DisplayPort, HDMI, USB. It's basically everything that you want. Now, we know that this is a higher end monitor, but you know, one of the things that I found is I used to think, oh, you know what? I'll just get 4 inexpensive monitors and put them together, which does work.
Yeah, it does work.
You could end up getting a larger display space, but there's something special about a really well-designed monitor. This thing's kind of beautiful.
It is, and you know, sometimes when you get a monitor, all you care about is the display. But some of the more accoutrements that come with it that they've done a good job with is like the base is really nice. It has these aluminum, red tinted base at the bottom that's really solid. It is only one screw to unattach the base and then pick it up and lift it away. And you know, it lifts up, it rotates and stuff. Cute. I didn't even bother testing the speakers because, like,
who uses the speakers?
You're not going to pay. Well, so this monitor is.
Oh, I just turned it off.
Is $1,400 retail, like MSRP, but I found it on Newegg for a little bit less than that. I think, $1,289 on Newegg right now.
Well, you know, Brian, we could go back and forth, but I think the audience would rather hear you do an in-depth, intimate look of your time with the Acer Predator 32-inch giant.
32. I mean, we could talk specs all day, but how did it really work?
So you finally have yourself a PC capable of 4K gaming, and now you have the hard decision of finding a monitor to match with it. Well, here's one you should definitely consider. This is the Acer Predator XB321 HK 32-inch IPS NVIDIA G-Sync gaming monitor. And as much as that's a mouthful to say, this monitor is definitely a feast for the eyes. Now, running through the specs real quick, like I said, this is a 32-inch 4K UHD monitor, meaning it has a 3840 by 2160 resolution at a refresh rate of 60 Hz and a response time of 4 milliseconds. This all comes from Acer's Predator line, and if you're familiar, there's also the Acer Predator G6 gaming PC that I reviewed earlier in the year and really liked. As far as build quality, the monitor looks really nice, feels solid. Coming in at just under 25 pounds is definitely hefty, but you'll only ever notice that, like me, if you're carrying it from the studio to home back and forth. Keeping things simple on the back, there's one HDMI, one display port, and 4 USB 3s. As far as the stand, it feels really high quality. It has nice red aluminum feet that are a nice touch, and you can lift and drop the monitor with some pan and tilt. Definitely a really solid mount for this monitor. And what I've learned from using this monitor versus like a curved monitor is that this monitor looks really good. It has very good colors, very accurate in brightness, contrast, frame rate, viewing angles are all exceptional. And when you go into the menu system, you have a few options for dialing it into your preferences. This monitor would be great for photo reproduction or even video editing, which I did a lot of. One of the highlights of this monitor is definitely the G-Sync by NVIDIA. What is G-Sync, you're asking yourself? Well, it's a way of synchronizing the display refresh rate with the GPU and eliminating screen tearing and minimizing display shutter and input lag. But if you don't have a GeForce card, you're out of luck because this is NVIDIA technology. And if you think you've played Doom 4, but you haven't played it at 4K on ultra settings, you really haven't done yourself a favor because this game looks amazing on this monitor at ultra settings and at full resolution. As far as downsides, the only one that I can really come up with is price. And it's pretty steep at almost $1,400 MSRP, but I have seen it as low as $1,200 on Newegg. But in this case, you get what you pay for, and this is an absolutely stunning display that is perfect for gaming or even video editing or editing your photos. And at 32 inches, I think this is the perfect size, and I'm not really a big fan of curved screens after having played this side by side next to one. If you have a 4K capable machine, do yourself a favor and check out this monitor and get your game on.
So Brian, that is a lot of money. I mean, this is one of those things. If this is for a back-to-school student, it's really for a back-to-school university student. It's
I see it as an investment, Padre. You could buy this monitor, and I would guarantee that you probably would not outgrow it for 4 to 5 years. So
right. Yeah. And the funny thing is, when I was growing up, you would pay that amount of money for like a 17-inch monitor, a nice 17-inch monitor.
What was the resolution on that monitor?
Oh, you know, that one got up to 800 by 600. It was fantastic. It was like, what am I ever going to do with that? Holy, whoa!
Wow, you could almost see the pixels, right?
You really could.
Yeah.
You really could. Yeah. But this is, yeah, it's a higher end monitor. We wanted to show off a higher end monitor because we show off a lot of lower end monitors, even monitors that are bigger than this, and supposedly 4K. You really do start to realize there's a difference between 4K and 4K.
Yes, and there's a difference between 4K running at 30 frames per second, and there's a difference between 4K running at 60 frames per second.
Totally makes a difference.
And with the G-Sync, if you're already in the NVIDIA, ecosystem, it's pretty slick.
It's something special. Yeah. So I mean, folks, I know there's going to be that temptation to, like I did. I bought a 42-inch 4K monitor for $275. It's like, oh wow, this is amazing, and I use it on a daily basis. But I had this for a while in my office, and I was looking at this and looking at the 42. I'm like, I'll take this.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be doing something like video work or photo like reproduction. You want the colors to be right, and there's not, for an IPS display, it doesn't have a lot of bleeding or anything like that. It's nice. Yeah,
and actually that's exactly why I liked it, because I do have a color matched monitor. So anytime I'm working, every once in a while I have to take the entire frame, like Adobe Premiere window, and move it over to the other one just to make sure that I've got the right color, and then move it back. It would be nice to be able to do that on my primary.
Right, and if you match this with one of Acer's gaming machines, like the Predator. The G6 that I reviewed, everything matches together. You get this red glow from it, so when you're playing a game like Doom, it's definitely a steep, price for everything, but it never once felt like it wouldn't be worth it. Like, I would love to have that machine in my home.
So we'll say it, the back-to-school choice is to get a Predator monitor with a Predator gaming desktop, with a Predator SSD from Kingston, with a Predator keyboard and mouse set from Rocket.
And that will probably set you for your school career.
And will probably cost more than your tuition.
It depends on where you go, right?
All right, when we come back, we're going to stay with the theme of monitors. We actually have someone who wanted some suggestions on how to mount their monitors when they do get to college. Because, you know, we kind of have limited desk space. What would be the most efficient way to do it? We've got something just for that. But before we go there, let's go ahead and thank a sponsor of this episode of Know How. Hey, Brian, let me ask you something.
Yeah, sure.
When I started in IT, you know, it was brand new.
Yeah, I bet it was really new. Yeah.
I mean, we were still sliding stones on strings.
An abacus.
An abacus, yeah. It was good stuff. It was good.
That's a lot of computing power.
It really, I mean, back then I was like, whoa, how am I ever going to use up all these rocks?
I'm jealous. I wish I could have gone through and seen the generations.
Well, you know, when I was growing up, that was what we had. And doing IT was as simple as doing IT. You kind of grew with it. You experimented. You made mistakes. That was the training. Well, today we've gone beyond that.
Right, and somebody's not just going to take your word that, oh, you built your own PC, that's cool, but do you have
here's
any
a
proof?
Job. Yeah, today you need classes. You need to go to school. You need to have training. You have to get certifications. Now, you could try to do it the old route. The old route is just learn off the internet, and hopefully some employer will hire you so that you get something on your resume so you can get to a better job.
I got a letter of recommendation from my grandma. I fix her laptop all the time.
Nah, that doesn't help. Oh. Folks, what you need is not a recommendation from Brian's grandma. You need IT Pro TV. Now, IT Pro TV understands the needs, the demands, the wants of IT professionals. And I'm not talking just about people who are trying to get into the game. I'm talking about people who have been doing it for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. IT Pro TV is a one-stop shop for all the information you need to stay current with your skills, to update your existing skills, or to learn brand new ones. It's the best way to stay up to date with your current technology certifications. And if you're one of those people trying to break into the IT world, IT Pro TV's high-quality video content will bring you closer to achieving that new IT job that you've been working towards. They've got over 1,000 hours of content and more than 30 hours that are added every week. You can stream courses live and on demand worldwide to your Chromecast, your Roku, your Amazon Fire TV, your Apple TV, or your PC. One of the keys to learning with IT Pro TV is that you can learn at your own pace and on the go with your device of choice. You could start on your desktop, move to your tablet, move to your phone. In other words, whenever you have time to learn. Their course topics include CCENT, CCNA, routing and switching, CISM, and CEH version 9, as well as dozens and dozens of other in-demand topics that you can learn anytime you want. They've also got transcripts that let you follow from start to finish or jump to any part of any lesson. This is why I use it for reference. Sometimes there's been a piece of knowledge that I've forgotten, or maybe I left out the first time round. With IT Pro TV, I don't have to watch an entire segment to find that one 15-second answer. I can use the transcript to see where they're talking about the thing I need, jump straight to that part of the video, be in and out, and back to work. You've also got 100 step-by-step virtual machine labs and transcender practice exams. That's a $109 value, and you can take advantage of their low monthly subscription prices and no hassle cancellation policy. Now, while subscriptions are still the best value, if you just want to try it, you can go to Amazon Video and find IT Pro TV content. It's a really good way for you to sample before you buy. Now, if you're currently signed up for an enterprise account with IT Pro TV's competitors and they're subjecting you to a rate increase because you know they're going to do that, IT Pro TV will match your previous year's pricing on that account so that you and your team can continue to learn at an affordable rate. Their clients include Harvard, MIT, UCSD, Stanford, and more. If they trust IT Pro TV, don't you think you should too? Here's what we want you to do. We want you to check out itpro.tv/knowhow to access the most popular IT certifications on the planet. Premium subscriptions are normally $57 a month or $570 per year, but we've got a special offer because they love the Twit Army. Try it free for 7 days when you sign up using our code KNOWHOW30. You'll receive 30% off the lifetime of your account. That's less than $40 per month or $399 for the entire year. Just visit itpro.tv/knowhow. That's itpro.tv/knowhow and use the code KNOWHOW30 to try it free for 7 days. Plus, save 30% off the lifetime of your account. And we thank IT Pro TV for their support of Know How. All right, Brian. Common situation. Someone's going off to a new place. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a new studio. We've experience this here.
What's that like?
And you know, the setup that they had before with the multiple monitors that we talked about, the beautiful monitors, just doesn't quite fit or doesn't look right because we get accustomed to how things look on our workstation.
Absolutely, yeah. You're a creature of your environment, and the more you have it the way you like it, you don't want to change.
Precisely. Now, there are people who create custom shelves so that they can put multiple monitors up and down, left and right. And there have been all sorts of innovative solutions. I've created a couple in my day to try to get my monitors exactly at the angle I want, exactly with the rotation I want, while also giving me the flexibility to potentially replace one of them in the future.
Right, yeah. And a lot of computer monitors come with stands that don't give you a lot of flexibility. They don't raise very high, they don't lower very well, and they don't tilt to the side or, you know, forward or back or anything like that.
Yeah. So what if I told you that there's actually a company out there that specializes in making your monitors be exactly the way that you want them to be?
I'd say I've been using that product for a while, and it's become sort of like I have to have it now.
Yeah. Of course, I'm talking about Ergotron. If you ever watched my old show, Gadget, Ergotron was one of the biggest supporters because I love their products. One of the things that you'll know about them is their gear tends to be a bit more expensive than other players in this area, but it's so much higher end. It's so solid. Wait, you remember some of the janky ones we had at the Brick House?
Yes. And once you start putting like a heavy monitor onto one of those janky arms, it sags.
They sag.
It starts to tilt.
They kind of work until you remove them from wherever they are, and then they're useless because you try to put them someplace else and they're wobbly or they're bent over, and not so great. I've never had that happen with an Ergotron.
I know. I wish we had some to look at, though.
Oh, we do, because they're all around us, Brian.
Where?
Okay. So first of all, Kara, if you could go to Amazon. So this is the one that I actually have. I have an LX dual side arm. I've had this thing for a decade.
It's solid. It's been through some stuff too. Like,
I've replaced my monitors 3 times.
When I was setting it up on in the no hole, I
destroyed it.
I've dropped it on cement.
Yeah.
I didn't destroy it. It's kind of hard, almost impossible to destroy one.
It's pretty. Leo's had him on his desk. I've had him on my desk. And actually, if you go to that second link, Kara, this is they've really expanded. So when I first started using Ergotron, it was just that side by side. But what they have now is all of these different options for mounting. So there's clamp on, there's drill through, you could do up and down, you can do side by side. They've got monitor stands that will do like a monitor on a laptop or 2 monitors on a laptop, or a keyboard.
An iPad.
Yeah, you basically, anywhere from about $50 all the way up to about $600, you're gonna find some piece of gear that's gonna fit your budget, that's gonna fit your lifestyle, like that one, the LX dual stacking arm.
That's cool.
I've actually got my eyes on that because I've switched from sort of a side-by-side to having one huge monitor and then multiple monitors up and top, top and bottom. Yeah.
The thing I love about the different layouts is it makes you feel like you're in a spy movie or something. You know, you put like IP Viking on one monitor, you put, you know, the video you're watching on another monitor. But the thing that I became super accustomed to having was the extra desk space.
Yeah,
so if you have a
lifts
desk,
it off.
It lifts it off the top of the desk, and that's when I could like push the monitors back, and then I'd spread out and have like my Arduino, my Raspberry Pi, I start soldering, and then it's like, okay, I need to watch this video to figure out that next thing, and pull the monitor over to me, and like, okay, I got this,
Now, I wanted to show the folks at home exactly what they look like. So this one,
this is the one I've been using, right? No? This is a different one?
I may have stolen this from Leo's office.
Oh, he'll never notice.
He'll never know. He's got so many monitors, right? So this is the base unit for a side-by-side. Now, right now it has the attachment for clamp-on. So this is a simple clamp. It's a C-clamp, so it will hug the edge of a desk. You tighten this up, but what I like about Ergotron's design is this part is replaceable. They also give you a drill through. So if you let's say your desk didn't have a lip, you could actually drill a hole, just a very small, like 3/4 inch hole through the desk. This bolts down, and that's actually how I used it when I was in Hawaii. I mean, my stand has traveled with me across the world.
Yeah, it's super solid. Is this aluminum or steel or something?
Yeah, there's aluminum and steel. So the parts that need to be light.
You could murder someone with those.
You could. I mean, like you, I have done bad things.
Right? And the nice thing is you can clean them up real easily.
Yeah, the blood comes right off. It's amazing.
Sure.
So these 2 arms, they're like this. Now the cool thing about Ergotron's system is these are interchangeable. So there are different types of modules that will fit onto this. You can take the the laptop holder or the keyboard stand. And in this particular arm case, I've actually got 2 arms. I can show. You want to put that one on? I'll put this one on.
Yeah, sure.
And this will support up to 2 27-inch monitors.
Maybe it was 27-inch, but I had a Philips 4K monitor. It's huge, and it was hung on this, and it was solid.
Yep, solid. In fact, the only thing that's going to break is maybe the desk it's attached to.
This desk's kind of flimsy.
Yeah, that's why I'm not tightening it down too much. This is a little bit on the flimsy tip.
But like, as you can see, like, when you have the monitors in the forward configuration like this, if you're an artist or something and you want like space to draw on the desk, or you have papers that you want to lay out, it was so nice just to be able to push the monitors back, like push my keyboard back, and then I had all this extra space on like a pretty limited small desk that I had.
Yeah. One of my favorite layouts is there's a version of the arm that so the monitor mounts on here. So all you need is a VESA mount. Those are actually really, really standard. But it also has a little handle, so you could like have the monitors way close to you when you need them, and then you just use the handle and you just push them straight back.
So the reason I keep looking over here, is that what we have on these?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the new monitors for the TD desk actually have a handle that allow you to move both monitors at the same time.
Right, that's nice because they're aligned, so you don't have to like try and readjust them. Nice.
But I could take that arm and put it on this unit. I could take this arm and put it on that unit. That's, again, what I like about Ergotron. You're not going to throw away the stuff that you buy just because you decide to upgrade. Yeah, see? So the entire TD desk that we have here in the new studio in Tess, that's how easy it is. Cool. So it's spring-loaded, but it's also just so solid. I tried a lot of other brands before I went with Ergotron, and I'm never going to go back. I mean, yes, they are more expensive, but here's how I look at it. You can buy 5 $60 stands, or you can buy a $300 stand.
Right, and you've had this forever.
Forever.
So
yeah, well, not this particular one, because this one actually belongs to Leo.
Oh, right, not this one.
And I have to get it back to his office before he notices.
They're still setting up the office, don't worry.
Exactly. The other thing that you can do with this, which I really like, is these rotate. So if you want to, you could have like the going between portrait and landscape, and because it's spring-loaded and because they're so well manufactured, you don't feel like you're having the manhandle. I can actually twist my monitor with one finger and switch it from portrait to landscape.
Yeah, I see a lot of programmers who like to do that, where they have their main landscape monitor and then they do the portrait on the right, so they have the list of code coming down. Are you having fun with that?
It's like Spacebot. What you got?
It looks like you're trying to steer the desk.
Actually, you know what this reminds me of? Remember the steering column from Tron for the recognizer?
That's what I was thinking of, yeah. Go to the left.
Actually, whoa. Now it really looks like it.
Huh.
Huh?
No, it doesn't look like that.
I don't. I'm going to leave those over there because I'm getting nasty comments from our TD desk. Wow.
We're having too much fun.
If you are, and I'm serious about this, if you are looking for something for college, check out the Ergotron solutions. I mean, yes, they are more expensive, but you will keep them with you past college, past university. You will use this in your workspace, you will use it at home, you will use it in your dorm room.
And if you need to use your desk for more than just having your computer there, it's nice to be able to move them aside and have that extra space to like write down on paper or have your laptop out or something. Yeah.
Well, we've been talking a lot about monitors. First, the beautiful monitor from Acer, the Predator, and now we've talked about Ergotron arms, so you can put your monitors in the right spot. Next up, we thought we'd mix it up. If you go back to school, and if you're going to be on a university campus somewhere, you're going to have to get transported from one place to another. Now, the traditional way to do it has been to use, your
legs?
Your bike. No,
that's boring.
Legs, please.
Padre, it's 2016. We can do better than that.
Is this the Middle Ages?
Of course, the future.
We're going to be showing you a little bit of electronic transportation that we found a couple of weeks ago that, well, I don't want to send it back.
I feel like the only time you will want to send it back is when you've almost killed yourself.
Or when they've asked me really nicely
like,
5 times if I could please have it back.
Oh, so is it up to 5 times
5
now?
It's 5, so that's
See, when Padre really likes a project, he'll wait, or a product, he'll wait 3 emails and then he'll send it back. Well, if he really, really likes it, it's 5 emails.
It was 3 emails and 2 phone calls.
Oh.
It was like, hey, look, we love what you did, but we'll talk about that in just a bit.
We'll get to it.
But before we get to the product that I don't want to send back, let's talk about a product that I absolutely adore. I actually bought it before they were a sponsor of Know How and the This Week in Tech Network, and it's Ring. Now this is the Ring kit. When you buy this is what you're gonna get inside the box. Of course, you've got the Ring Video Doorbell, which is a fantastic device. I'll say exactly what it does in just a bit, but also all the tools. This is the kind of forethought that I really love out of vendors. They understand that some of the people who are gonna be buying their products aren't geeks who have iFixit toolkits or their own tools. This is everything you need to have this up and running and installed in about an hour, which is fabulous. My father was able to get this in about 30 minutes. This is the Ring Video Doorbell. And just like the name implies, it is a doorbell. People push that button and you're gonna get a nice little tone on the inside telling you that someone has come to your front door. Now you can run it off of house power, or you could charge the internal lithium polymer battery with that little micro USB connector. And what you get with that charge is a device that is incredibly unique. You see, this gives you caller ID for your home. When someone pushes that button, or when someone comes into range of the motion detector, you will get a notification on your smart device that somebody's there. You can actually see them with video, high definition video. You can talk to them 2 ways. In other words, you could tell someone, hey, oh, that package, go ahead and leave it behind that bush. Or you could say, what are you doing in my house? Get away. Oh, the reason why I bought this for my parents is because they live in a sort of a semi-golden age community. And I was worried about the burglaries that were happening. There was a lot of people who knew that some of the elderly folk would go away for long periods of time to the club. So they'd knock on the door, they'd ring the bell, maybe look in the window, and if no one responded, they knew that they had hours and hours to burglarize that house. I didn't want that to happen to my folks, so I bought them the Ring Video Doorbell, and they can actually answer the door even when they're not there. The Ring Video Doorbell has been proven to stop burglaries before they happen. And at our house, we actually stopped a neighbor from stealing power, and we got video of someone stealing UPS packages across the street. The Ring Video Doorbell isn't just a gadget, something that you use on your smartphone. It's something that turns your home into a smart house. Now, right now, they've increased what they have for the Twit TV Army. You see, Ring is using their advanced motion detection technology to protect your entire property, not just your front door, with the ring of security kits. Those kits include a Ring Video Doorbell and may include a stick-up cam, a solar panel, a chime, and or a solar security sign, which warns people that you are under video surveillance. The Pro kits also include a slim Video Doorbell Pro with crystal clear 1080p HD video and night vision. It's also hardwired, so you never have to worry about running out of charge. The wireless and weatherproof HD stick-up cam keeps an eye on other parts of your property and allows you to hear and speak to visitors with a two-way talk function. Also, you can plug the chime into any standard power outlet to know when you have a visitor, even if your phone is in another room. My personal favorite is the illuminated solar security sign, which deters intruders before they get to your door. Because the best way to stop burglaries is to make sure that they don't actually want to burglar your house. The Ring Video Doorbell and stick-up cam installs in just minutes. Working together, they provide 24/7 monitoring of your entire home, whether you're in the living room or thousands of miles away. Folks, I trust Ring with my parents, and I know that you're going to love it. Please, go ahead and try the Ring Video Doorbell. It's one of the coolest devices that you'll ever get. It's one of the last smart devices that you'll ever need. Join the millions of homeowners who protect their home with Ring. And for a limited time, Know How listeners can get up to $150 off of one of the Ring of security kits. Just go to ring.com/knowhow. That's ring.com/knowhow. And we thank Ring for their support of Know How. All right, Brian.
Yeah.
Let's get to the main event. Monitors are fun.
Yes.
I like monitor arms because they help me to feel like I'm organized even when I'm really not.
Yeah, but transportation is a very important thing too.
Yeah, now a while back we had a chance to check out the Irby. The folks down there were nice enough to send us one after we got an early look at CES. I'm going to be honest, I was a little skeptical. It is cool. I like electric vehicles.
Yeah, me too.
But we've also had a lot of jank vehicles come through the brick house in the studio.
We have, because it's not as simple as just strapping an electric motor to any sort of vehicle. You have to have like the right throttle curve, and the controls make a big difference too. Because these are torquey little motors and they have a good amount of power. But if you don't have a good way to, control that power, ramp it up,
spinning.
Yeah, it's not any fun. Like, so we've had a couple of electric scooters where they're not all created equal.
Yeah. And there's also that the difficulty in finding the perfect balance, because you can make a vehicle super sturdy, but then it's too heavy, or you can make it super light and you feel like you're going to break the thing every time you
Flimsy,
step on it.
exactly. Or the mechanism that you use to fold it up, because these are kind of devices that are meant to be like, oh, this gets me from the bus stop to that 1 mile location that I need to, fairly quickly. But nobody's going to want to, put it together that crummy scooter that the hinge doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why when we first got the Irby, I was excited because I love new tech, but I was skeptical. I didn't see myself bringing this thing around. I didn't see myself actually putting it into my trunk. I didn't see myself riding this without feeling like a complete dork. And remember, I'm very comfortable feeling like a dork.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like more than comfortable.
Wow, you agreed with that really quickly.
We've done a lot together, a lot of projects together.
Well, folks, I've had this little scooter for a month, and let's find out whether or not I learned to love it or hate it. This is the Irby.
Hey, we all need to get places, and sometimes those places aren't easy to get to with traditional transportation. Trains and buses might leave you miles from your destination, cars and trucks leave you stuck in traffic, and you don't have the look to pull off 1,000 horsepower of nitro-boosted war rig. What you need is transportation in your transportation. A way to make that bus or train get you door to door, a vehicle that fits in your vehicle, something that's geek chic and e-nerd candy all in one. Maybe what you need is an Irby. The Irby is a foldable, portable, urban electric vehicle designed by the folks at Urban 626. Out of the box, the Irby is almost completely pre-assembled. Regular people should be able to connect the front forks to the Irby in about 5 minutes, maybe 10 if you host a DIY maker show.
Oh, my finger almost got smashed.
You don't do that.
The vehicle is constructed out of aluminum and carbon fiber with a boxed honeycomb design that reduces weight while leaving the frame incredibly durable, able to support up to 250 pounds. The Irby uses motorcycle acceleration and braking with throttle and brake lever on the right side and a battery indicator on the left. Urban 626 was even nice enough to throw in a cell phone holder that attaches to the handlebars and a USB charging port for those who want to charge and ride. Perhaps for a little Pokemon action? 8-inch tires cushion your ride, as does the seat with an integrated coil-over shock absorber. Foldable pegs at the front and back of the Irby let you choose your leg resting position, and a standard kickstand props the vehicle when deployed, while a retractable kickstand steadies the Irby when folded. Now, I could talk to you about the finer points of the Irby, but I'd rather just show you. Propulsion is provided by a 250-watt hub motor in the front wheel, powered by a 36-volt lithium-ion battery pack tucked away in the front column. Urban 626 claims a 20-mile range at a maximum speed of 15 miles per hour, though your speed and range will depend on weight of the passenger, cargo, and where you're riding. Of course, those are just numbers. What's important is how it feels. And when the Irby gets up to speed, well, it feels...
It's like a dream! It's like a dream! Woo!
Getting up to speed is the easy part. Slowing down safely is where a lot of electronic transports fail miserably. That's why the Irby has rear disc brakes that provide really good stopping power that never feels as if it might dump you off the vehicle, even when braking harder than logic dictates. Oh, and rear disc brakes? Yeah, they're always going to bring out the 10-year-old in everybody. The entire Twit family had a lot of fun with the Irby, from Leo Laporte burning rubber in the old studio to us grossly overloading it while going up an incline, to just tooling around Petaluma and the Golden Gate Bridge. The Irby handled it all without struggling, and even a few light crashes didn't seem to hurt our little road warrior. When you're done, it's a simple matter of pulling up the seat, folding the frame, and dropping the front kickstand. It only weighs 35 pounds, and a leather strap at the top of the frame makes it easy to carry. Deployment is a reversal of the process, and you can literally be off and riding 5 seconds after you pull the Irby from your trunk or back seat. Now, if you're used to $700 bargain basement stripped-down e-scooter death traps, then the Irby will feel a little pricey, with the Black Label edition that we tested going for about $1,700 and the base model for $1,500. But as Urban 626 has leasing options with Wells Fargo, you don't actually have to pay the sticker to get your own urban transport. In the end, the Irby is an exceptionally well-designed transport that does exactly what it promises, being the transport that you carry in your transport. And it does it all while being the most fun we've ever had on a scooter, with styling that turns heads.
Okay, after a month, I'm a convert.
Yeah,
This thing is pretty cool.
I have to say, I think the best selling point for me is the throttle, because it's very much like
It's a motorcycle throttle.
and
Yeah.
that I was instantly just gunning it. You know?
Yeah, although there is one thing about that, and that is because the wheel is so small, and because it's in the front rather than the rear, which actually I found that is a safety issue. You tend to spin the wheel if you just gun it. You just start
so much torque.
Right. And actually, let's collapse this a little bit so that we can actually have Kara see us. And the collapse mode actually works really well. I've taken this thing and I've used it in my trunk pretty much every day. The only time I took it out is when I needed to move stuff to the new studio. But this is the perfect commuter companion.
Right, and if you're worried about like maybe cheap components or something, this thing, like
No, it's
every
solid.
piece,
It's
every
really,
bolt,
really solid.
every like the billet,
The disc
aluminum.
brakes, everything. I mean, I was telling someone earlier that there's a little gazebo park near the old brick house, and it has like a circular path, and it was the perfect size where you could go full throttle.
And
But
then
the only
lean.
way to like keep in the circle is you had to lean like it was a motorcycle, and I felt so cool. I mean, I'm like,
Right.
wow, this is what Brian must feel like.
And then from the distance,
It was just
people
a
are
fat guy on a little bike, but to me, it looked really, really fun.
Right, right. Hey, as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
And by the way, this is rated for up to 250 pounds, which means I just meet the requirements.
So you're saying we shouldn't have ridden it in tandem?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. No. People were standing on the and a lot of people had fun with this. We brought this to Leo's house for the Twit party, and every adult was trying it. It's not for kids because the seat doesn't adjust down to their sides.
Right.
But people love the throttle response. They love the fact that you had so much torque that you could really kind of take off.
And the brakes worked really well.
And the
which
brakes- yeah.
You wouldn't think that 15 to 20 miles per hour would be very scary,
It can
but
be
when
scary.
you're that
Oh, yeah.
low to the ground and you're going straight for like a wall, you want to have good brakes.
Precisely. I got to say, the frame really held up because I hope the people at Irby aren't watching this part of the video, but
If you are,
three different people
you can
dumped.
stop now.
They dumped on this. Ooh. And actually it was Lawrence, and Lawrence felt really bad. I'm like, well, it doesn't look like there's any damage, so I guess we're okay.
No, I mean, it looks good. These foot pegs too, these are something that you would see on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like these are billet aluminum motorcycle like pegs on here.
I don't understand the front foot pegs though, because I would never use the front. I would always put my
It's
feet
for
on the back.
cruising.
Really? 'Cause you
you
can't
know-
turn if your feet are on the front pegs.
No, I never felt comfortable putting my feet on the front, but the back pegs were perfect. So.
What I would like to see in a future edition of this is a light in the front, because I ended up like I would use my cell phone light.
That doesn't work.
It doesn't really work.
No.
The other thing is, I know it's a safety issue because if they put the motor in the back, if you gun it, you would tend to just kind of
Do a
spin
wheelie?
Yeah, which don't
I
do
would
that.
like.
You would like, but
for-
I don't like. You almost have to like kick off in order to not spin the front tire.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Leo Laporte actually already marked up the carpet in the new studio because he went hollering down the hall.
Not just the new studio either. Like the old studio had
Destroyed the-
burnouts like
It's
throughout the whole thing.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Irby's tire that is in the old studio.
The smell of burnt rubber was
Smell of burnt
everywhere.
rubber. Now I will say this: it is expensive. I mean, this
Yeah.
is actually even more expensive than the monitor that we looked at the beginning of the episode. You're looking at for this model $1,700. And then up, you can go all the way up to almost $2,000 for the super model that has the the powder coating.
Right.
But again, remember, they don't expect you to buy it. They really expect you to lease it. They've got a special leasing option with Wells Fargo. And if you do lease this is actually an attractive option to have for that commuter or that college student.
And okay, if I were in the market to spend that kind of money on something like this, which I very much wish I was, if you're going to spend that much money, like I would rather spend that much money and get this quality of parts that it came with than spend half that price and then have it fall apart because
we have had them fall apart.
These
some,
are
some scooters.
Yeah, these are machines that are made to be picked up, driven around, dropped. Like it's gonna be dropped. Like that's obvious, and you don't want something to break that first time that you drop it, and then you're stuck somewhere trying to carry this thing back with you. Like this thing is solid.
It really
and
is.
Everyone who rode it, had the potential to destroy it, and it survived. So.
It did. So, folks, that does it for this first episode for back to school. Now, next week, you're actually going to be gone. I think you're gallivanting around the universe somewhere with the Guardians.
Yeah,
but I'm going to have Megan Maroney and Jason Howell on to do a special edition of Know How. It's a back to school for iOS and Android lovers. Now, they're going to do their perspective, their ecosystems and the products that they like for their product.
And which is better?
Which is better.
Thunderdome
And I'm going to be
style.
right in the middle. I'm going to say, I'm going to give you products for both.
You're going to be
okay?
the moderator?
I'm the peacemaker.
You know, at some reason I feel like you're going to be poking them and be
so
like, you know what Megan said? She said Android sucks for school.
Oh, Jason, what about that? Does Android do what iOS does? Woo.
Yeah, you're going to be the antagonist.
That's kind of my job, man.
That's what you do. You troll.
We know that this was a lot of information. Now, if you want links to all the products that we've talked about, or if you want our individual notes on the specs of all these products, you can always find them at our show notes page, where are they, Brian?
They are at twit.tv/KH. And not only will you find the show notes, you'll find previous episodes. You'll find a way to download the episode of your choice. And if you've ever missed an episode, you'll want to subscribe.
Yeah, and also don't forget that probably one of the best places to be part of the Know How community is the Know How community. Go to Google+, look for Know How, ask to join, we'll bring you right in. We've got over 10,000 members. We call them Ketas, like know-it-alls.
Because KIA sounded a little weird.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful. But it's a great place for you to find ideas for new projects, to see what people have been doing in their spare time. If you're a newbie, please come to learn. If you're experienced, please come to teach. It's part of the ecosystem of being a maker.
That's right. But if you want to ask us a question or see what we're doing behind the scenes, the best way to do that is on Twitter. And I am at cranky_hippo.
And you're going to find me at PadreSJ. And of course, we've always got a third member. The third member is not seen. And this week, it is not, is it Jimmy? Jim?
I think is Hallex?
Hallex. It's not Hallex this week. It's someone who we actually like. That's right, folks. It's Kara Cole, or as we call her, Monitor Head.
I'll never be seen.
You'll never seen. Because
Unless we use this Ergotron to move.
oh, wait, no, you're breaking the fourth wall.
Look at me. Don't look at me, but you can follow me on Twitter at Kara080.
And please do, because she needs more followers than Jeff Needles.
I do. I think I'm at like 318, 319.
Not bad.
Do it,
But you
folks.
know, fun fact, when I started, my first day was Halloween. 2 weeks later, I was the guest on Chat Room Celebrity of the Week on the GizFizz, and I only had 20 followers at the time.
Whoa.
We doubled that to 40, and
Dang.
now look at me, 318. So
You're-
let's make it
Wow.
1,000.
Kara, you're balling.
Oh my
You're
God.
balling.
Ballin'.
How about that? Until next time, I'm Father Robert Ballas here.
I'm Brian Burnett.
And now that you know how,
Go scoot.